Ever had bison meat?
No, I never have.
It's really quite good.
I heard, yeah.
It's lean, doesn't make you fat or anything. It's good stuff.
Good alternative, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But we're not going to be riding any buffaloes right now. We're going to be talking about planes.
Yes.
And you have what plane did you bring here?
I brought a model in of a plane we have at the museum, one of our latest acquisitions, a Northrop F5, F for fighter.
Okay.
And ours is special because it was in that classic movie Top Gun. The plane was actually in, it's one of the first ones you see in the movie, an F5.
Yeah.
And it's the 25th anniversary of the movie, so we're hoping to, we'll be conducting events on it.
Okay. What's happening? I'm sorry. Okay, I just heard some noise in the back there. So this is on display there, is that correct?
Yeah, it's on permanent display in our air park. It's one of the 17 jets we have out in our air park. I know you've been there, and there are 3 helicopters.
And it's incredible because there are so many planes that you have real planes, not models or anything, but real planes.
Yeah, they're truly iconic. Yes.
Great. Now, Jamie, you're on the Board of Trustees.
Yes.
Tell me how you got involved with the Aerosciences Museum. Are you a pilot, or are you?
My husband actually is a private pilot, and he works for the Air National Guard locally in Scotia. Mm-hmm. And when he's gone in Antarctica for sometimes weeks at a time, I thought, I really should do something so I can learn a little bit more about planes and kind of be better to talk to when he's home. So I went over to the museum, and I started out as a tour guide, actually.
Oh, that was really nice.
It was fantastic. I kind of got to meet everybody and find my way around and check out some of the planes, and it just kind of escalated from there.
Well, how nice that is. And it's a lovely museum, too. I mean, it's kind of like a hands-on, but not, I mean, you can't touch everything, obviously, but it does have that feeling that kids can understand and get up close and look at the moon landing, some of the things that you have there.
It used to be the historic GE Flight Test Center from the 40s to the 60s, so we're on a pretty historic site in addition to our displays. But I have to say, Jamie's one of our best new volunteers. She's spearheaded a lot of our events, brought a lot of new ideas. We've redone the website of our Facebook
wow,
site.
It's nice to have a Facebook presence.
And Jamie has done a great job on continuing our role as an asset to the community by conducting, Jamie organized 2 of our best events last summer.
And what were those?
It was the 100th anniversary of Naval Aviation, and it was National Aviation Month, and we had special events there. It was she did a wonderful job. They were our 2 best events of the year, and Jamie's also going to be talking about some outreach, with our partners in schools and adult programs as well.
And so what do you do with the schools? I mean, we just had someone on earlier in the show getting musical instruments. Are you doing anything like that or similar, or trying to?
We do a lot of off-site events at the schools. Many of them, just because of budget cuts, have a hard time getting entire groups out to the museum.
So therefore you go in. I know the Schenectady Museum is doing the same thing, going into the schools too.
Yes, well last year we actually had the opportunity to do a number of science fairs. We work with some very talented partners in the community, and we take RC planes and we do demonstrations and talk about the theory of flight and how flight works and lift and thrust and things like that. So we get the kids a little bit of science education while we're doing it. We have some wonderful flight simulator programs that we take out on laptops so the kids can actually practice.
That's really nice.
It's the real program that pilots actually use when they're in flight school to practice the mechanics before they jump in a real plane. So we're very excited to be able to take that to the kids.
And I think what you're doing is you're stimulating kids to think in terms of not just this narrow thinking. They're now thinking of, maybe I could become a pilot, maybe I could
learn something and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And now you've got, what are these 2 here? We wanted to talk about these.
Top
Gun, we talked about this.
Yes,
right?
2012 is actually going to be an exciting year for aviation. There's an awful lot going on. It is the 25th anniversary of Top Gun.
Yep. Doesn't seem possible, does it?
No.
Well, I'm glad they never made a remake. It was like it was
I
kind
get
of a
so
hoax.
tired of these remakes.
Yeah,
they're just they're never as good as the first one.
Well, the next time you see it, if you do, please, this is the
I will.
first,
We're gonna
first
watch
plane you
it.
see is our Northrop F5.
That's it. Okay, and you've got one. Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one we brought because there's a new movie coming out.
Red-tailed Angels.
Yep. It's about the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah.
And there's a brand new movie coming out about them starring Cuba Gooding Jr. It'll be out in January.
Oh, I bet it'd be good, yeah.
It is, and we're very excited.
I've seen documentaries on it, and it's a wonderful story and talks about the pilots. Yeah.
The Tuskegee Airmen were legendary aviators in World War II. They were the first African-American pilots. and did their training at Tuskegee in Alabama, but had a legendary career in World War II, largely in the Mediterranean and the European theater, and they just a tremendous record. One of their primary roles was a 332nd Fighter Group, but conducted bomber escort missions, escorting our heavy bombers, and
Really?
just
Oh, wow.
racked up just a tremendous record. And this, we're hopeful to have
We
events.
had, there is a gentleman in the area, I believe, that was one of the Tuskegees.
Yes.
And I can't remember his name, but I know who, I can see him, but I can't think of his
We
name.
had scheduled him as a speaker, as a guest
Yeah.
speaker, I think about a year and a half ago, and unfortunately he became ill. But
Yeah, he's a wonderful
hero.
gentleman, and his son is was in the a big job in the federal government.
I believe
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, and I know it just as well as I know my own. So, what about the holidays? Is this a good time for kids to go up and see the museum?
Oh, all the time, all the time. As I
Okay.
said, Jamie is, our other great volunteers are making new exhibits, which you have, and you're designing some new programs for.
So you do it all,
Both-
Jamie. Oh my
I know. I only do a little bit of everything. There's a lot of wonderful people
You got.
involved who are
If you
doing
get the
good
idea,
things.
somebody can follow through on it.
Yes, I just make sure that it gets on the website and on the Facebook page so that everyone else can kind of stay on top of what's happening. We actually have 2 new exhibits that I'm excited about. We have one that we just started this last summer in conjunction with the Naval Aviation Day. I don't know if you're familiar on aircraft carriers. One of the ways that they keep people straight and keep the jobs separated is everyone has their own color vests. And we were able to obtain some of the actual Navy
so you could
uniforms.
that's
so we were
nice.
able to put those up and put up some explanations for people of what does this color do, what does that color do. If you were to see this person, what would this tell you?
What is their job?
So it's fun and it's educational
Yeah.
and it's bright, so it kind of catches kids' eyes. The other one is not quite finished yet, but we're almost done and I'm very excited. We have an original drafting table from the GE building that we're in, and we're putting it back together with the plans for a hoppycopter, and it's an original design planned by GE here back in the 40s.
Did you say hobbycopter?
Hoppycopter. It's
Okay.
a one-person helicopter with a jet-propelled blade on the top.
Yeah.
I want to see this one.
It unfortunately it didn't actually work. They weren't able to put it
Okay,
into
good.
production, but
It was said to be so noisy that the tip of it reached supersonic speed, so I guess it was so noisy it was never really practical. It was a random.
But it was an idea.
But it was, and we have the original blueprints, so we're going to put those out on the
what a
drafting
great
table so that
idea
people
that
can
is.
see those. And it should be, we actually have the blade or part of the blade from the copter as well that we're going to put up on display there with it. So it's new, we should be rolling it out in short order, and I'm excited about that.
Okay.
We have 2 other really new things coming up that I'm excited about. I don't know if you're familiar with the spotter planes from World War II. They kind of would have been like this. They trained civilians and pilots.
Oh, yeah,
to
because
look.
then they had to be able to identify
Yes,
the
yes.
plane.
Yes. Yep. So that
Yeah,
you
when they
could
saw it from the
identify it
outline.
just by the
Okay.
shadow.
Yeah, okay.
And we actually have some of the
I do. I
original
remember
plans
that now.
that the government sent out to people to make their own models.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our very talented volunteers is going to lead a class on how to make those models in the traditional style
that's-
with,
And the first one
the
you
wood and
chose
from
was
scratch. Yeah.
Legendary P-40, and your colleague Greg Millett, I remember, who did a wonderful
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
at the museum on
Exactly.
because his dad was affiliated
Yeah,
with the Flying
yeah,
Tigers,
yeah.
and this was the mount of the Flying Tigers in World War II, the
Yeah.
P-40, so that would be the
That
first
was really,
one.
he flew back with one of the Doolittle flyers, I guess.
Yes, that's- yeah, it was a
he's a
wonderful
surgeon,
talk.
so he brought them back.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting story there, yeah.
Yes.
So if you're looking for something to do with the kids over the holidays, pack them up, go up Route 50, and go to the Empire State Aerosciences Museum and spend a few hours or a day. And do you still have your breakfasts?
No, we haven't.
Because you had a fire.
We had a fire. We hopefully will be
Good.
able to reopen.
Let me
and-
know when you do.
Yes, and congratulations on your 700.
I know.
I know you had a milestone, and
Yeah.
this is the 702nd show.
Yeah,
so
we're just
Jamie and I are
moving
privileged.
forward, right?
Yes.
So, thank you so much, Kevin Millington, president of the Empire State Aerosciences Museum, along with Jamie Fuller, who is on the trustees. And it looks like she's the program chair or something, because you're doing it all. So thank you both
Thank
for
you
being
very
here
much for
today. Yeah,
enjoying
always good to
ourselves.
see you.